the line, the leaders, Johnson and Holt. Holt will line up down the top of the regular line. Across the line, it's going to be Holt by 0.006 of a second. We are underway. SuperStar Cup here at Phoenix for 200 laps. Sixth machine around off turn number 2. Huge wreck there. Samosian drives it in, the new tire off of turn 4. Connor Samosian, the new tire fall, the 4-tire fall, one tire across the line. Connor Samosian is still the way to your Kansas.
Hello everyone, we're here live at Suzuka, Japan for race number 13 of the SuperStar ARCA Cup series. As practice just wrapping up here at the road course of Japan. The drivers will have 2 laps in 5 minutes to complete their lap times to try to win the Rogue Energy Pole Award. As like I mentioned, practice just wrapping up, the hour and 15 minutes these drivers had to learn this very different layout, different unique racetrack that we have here in Japan. And we'll take you on a ride here around Suzuka East. As drivers on the racetrack right now during their qualifying laps. As we'll look at currently Samuel Hoff on the racetrack right now, going through the S's up the hill and through the little cut through to start his first lap. Hoff currently second in the points, 20 points behind the points leader Connor Zabosian, as Hoff is starting his lap right now. And then the turn 1, the fast right-handers, it's a double right-hander. Through turn 2, up the hill and through the S's now. There's through S number 1, then number 2 right here, and number 3, and you have 4 of these kind of curvy corners right here until you get to the final corner. And another left-hander and then a right-hander for the final corner. So it's a pretty quick lap, around 55 seconds or so. And crossing line this time by. It's going to be a 52.092. As a Bosian on top. Bosian still on top of the board. As halfway through the qualifying session, we'll see if Samuel Hoff can go faster. As coming off the final corner, can Hoff go any quicker? Getting on the power a little bit late there. Don't think he got the best exit. But come across the line is going to be 51.6. That puts him back on top of the board. Can Connor Zabosian do anything better? No, he can't. He stays second. Samuel Hoff on pole position so far here tonight. Let's see if anyone else can go quicker. Not a big field for tonight's race. Probably the least amount of cars we've seen in the SuperStar ARCA Cup series in these races that we've been broadcasting overall. And here's Hunter Sr. through the final corner. As Daniel Molnex qualifies third for now with 1:30 left. He's also currently third in the points as well. As Johnny Kite goes up to 6th. He's had some bad luck recently. Currently sits in that 15th place spot in the points, 3 positions off the chase cutoff line. As Hunter Sr. goes 12th, as Kyle Rinsky goes up to top 5 spot in 5th. Now Cameron Craighead goes up to 4th place. With about a minute or so left in qualifying, some drivers still have an opportunity to increase their spots here as Hunter Sr. through the S's. He goes up the hill. He has plenty of time to get in his final lap. That 42 Juicy Spider gaming machine there. He's getting on the gas slowly but surely. Sergio's ripping down the front straightaway. Come across the line. Will he improve his lap time? Looks like he will. He'll put himself in the top 10 in the 9th. As right now, no one else on the racetrack and everyone has completed their laps. So right now, unofficial is Samuel Hoff on pole position here for tonight's race. We'll wait about 20 seconds here before it comes official. As 51.617 is the pole time. Will anyone beat it? No one's on the racetrack, so with 3 seconds left, Samuel Hoff will win the Suzuka pole for tonight's race. He'll also win the Rogue Energy Pole Award as well. That's green up right now. Are you ready to take your sim racing to the next level? Rogue Energy is the ultimate gaming energy drink, loaded with vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. Get laser-like focus, increased motivation, and longer endurance to excel on the racetrack. Whether you're battling for the lead or perfecting your lap times, Rogue Energy gives you the edge you need. Use code REF, that is code REF, at checkout for 10% off your purchase. Don't just play, dominate with Rogue Energy. And Samuel Hoff dominating on the pole right there for Suzuka. As right now currently girding up for tonight's heat race. Heat number 1 was to decide the inside line, or the right side line, I guess you could say, going down in turn 1. Second road course out on the schedule. The first one, Brock Morris won that one out. Watkins Glen. Brock Morris, usually a road course ringer, not here tonight. So, probably the favorite going into the night, not going to be showing up in racing this 85 lap main event or the 8 lap heat races. So we'll see who can show up. As Samuel Hoff, another good road course racer, obviously on the pole positions. Connor Zabosian in second, qualified second, a good road course racer as well. He's also last week's winner. And he's the driver with the most wins this season as well, with 3. As we'll take a quick look at our grid here for tonight's race. Tonight's heat race, I should say. It's going to be Daniel Molnix on pole, Cameron Craig at second, Ryan Houtzen third, Kyle Rinsky fourth, Dustin Coggin fifth, Donnie Kite 6th, Hunter Sr. 7th, Nate Bogus 8th, Brian Marshall 9th, Skylar Jones in 10th, Nathan Johnson 11th, Ruben Rodas in 12th, Isaiah Walters 13th, Christopher Bush 14th, Timothy Presley 15th, Jordan Evans 16th, Craig Murray 17th, Albert Lopez 18th, Dan Reberark 19th, Tate LaPrette 20th, Zachary Tyler in 21st, Dylan Lamb 22nd, Tim Baxball 23rd, and Alex McCrean rounding out your grid of 24. And I believe this is just one heat race here for tonight. It looks like all 20, so there's 26 drivers in total, top 2 in qualifying advanced, but the rest of the field is in this race right now. So we'll see how this plays out, but I believe usually what would happen is the inside line would be chosen in this heat, and the outside in the second heat. But I think with the little car count, or the smaller car count here for tonight's race, I think it's just one heat race instead of the normal two. So this will affect your track position overall. So every position is one position up on the grid. Unlike the row, usually it's one row for each position here in the heat races. But anyways, enough of me talking, and we're about to go green here for heat number 1. 8 laps in total, and we'll see for the first time how the racing is here at Suzuka East. And coming to the start line, slowly but surely. Waiting for that green flag to fly, and there it is. Green flag is out. Daniel Molnix. Through the gears they go. He clears into turn 1 over Karolinski already. As the field slowly makes their way through turn 1. Everyone's staying on the racetrack through turn 1 and turn 2 as they go up the hill and through the S's. Some side-by-side action here for third. That's Donnie Kite and Ryan Houtston right there. They're in 4th place position as they single file out up the hill even more. And Nate Bogus side-by-side with Skylar Jones. It's Nate Bogus way wide right there. Here comes Simon Senior. Got to take advantage on the outside line here for now this corner. So up the hill they go now to the last corner. The tough right-hander. Gotta be careful that you don't get on the gas too early and go off the racetrack. It looks like everyone makes it through cleanly lap 1 as side by side up ahead. This looks like Karolinski going to defend there a little bit as Skylar Jones looking to the inside of Dustin Coggin. He'll make the pass into turn 1 as the rest of the field up the hill. One driver way off to make basketball off the track in turn 2 actually. As this looks so cool going up the hill and up the S's for these drivers, especially in these stock cars. As one driver spin, that's a 41 right there. Timothy Presley around on the last corner. He's still stopped on the inside. Oh, and some other driver hit him. I think it was Cameron Craighead. Almost hit Timothy Presley there. As Timothy Presley getting back going through the final corner. That's what I was talking about. Just getting the gas a little too early in these stock cars. That can cause some mayhem right there. As Daniel Molnick's not really getting away too much from this field. As Karolinski, Donnie Kite, Ryan Houston still hanging in and catching up to that 40 machine up ahead. As we want to try and cut around. Hard hit for Skylar Jones off return up to the final corner, right in front of the front straightaway, and the straightaway is blocked, completely blocked. Through the middle they go. Everyone's defending. Oh, almost some contact there. They make it through so far, and they're wrecking even more. That's Taylor Preda as they're making it through. How do these drivers make it through? Oh, it's gonna be close right there. As most drivers made it through. Let's take a look at that one. As wow, another bad break for Donnie Kite. Once again, got a terrible starting position in the main event. Has just got on the grass a little bit, got on the gas a little bit too early, it looked like. And just got on that grass on the left side of the track, the final corner. Just clipped it a little bit and spun him around. Skylar Jones trying to avoid, just had nowhere to go. From this angle, not the easiest thing to avoid. A little moving chicane in the middle of the front straightaway. But then Hit Lapreda also spun out there as well. As the whole track was blocked for a second. But as we're back going for most of these drivers, but we go back out front. It's Daniel Molnick still leading the field. halfway through this one already. Like I mentioned, pretty quick lap times here, only 52 seconds in total around this racetrack. There's 3 laps to go. Timothy, Dylan Lamp around here up to the yeses. Now that's going to put gravel on the racetrack. You can see him and Alex McQueen made contact there. Dylan Lamp just got into him, also Timothy Presley as well. And that's going to put a lot of gravel on the racetrack. Some of these drivers might slip and slide here. I see they're going through the first time. I see it all kicking up. As we'll see if anyone is too affected by it. It doesn't look like they're losing too much grip. That's Nathan Johnson there and Nate Bogus, excuse me, as he walks around through the gravel. We'll see if he has some mayhem. No, he just lost it on his own right there, looks like. As that just got, wow, just looks like he just lost it on his own. Maybe it drove the corner a little bit as well. But 2 laps to go for Daniel Molnix. Gonna try to win this heat race and start in 3rd. As one driver off, that's Skylar Jones right in front of our race leader. As for the final corner, Daniel Molnix goes, coming to the white flag for heat number 1. There's a lot of action early in this one throughout the whole pretty much heat race. Not a lot of racing though, I would say. Just a lot of just misfortunes for some of these drivers, but everyone will make it to the main event. Like I mentioned, unfortunate for Donnie Kite once again having bad luck this week. He had bad luck last week. He won at Talladega 2 weeks ago, but he just had a bad season of just bad luck for him, really. Still sitting 15th in points. He has a chance to still make the chase here late, but you just have to have a decent result here at Suzuka. But here comes Daniel Molnix off the final corner. He's going to pick up the win here in heat number 1, and he will start in 3rd place here for tonight's race and have great track position here. As we'll take a quick look at our most positions gained. Got Craig Martin, Alex McQueen, Albert Lopez, Nathan Johnson, and Zachary Tyler up into the single digits for all those drivers. Craig Martin with the most, up 8. So Craig Martin right now in 9th place, got across the line there as well. It's close battle here. Jordan Evans, Dale Walters coming across the line, 13th and 14th. As everyone else making their way through the field. Dylan Lamp will be the last one to cross the line. Donnie Kite starting dead last here for tonight's race, as he's currently in pit lane. That's kind of just a bad shoot. It's actually Predator's almost getting past Tim at basketball, comes to the line. It's gonna be a drag race, not enough though, as Timothy Presley actually got a penalty there. He currently has a black flag. That's gonna put him on the end of the lead lap. So he goes from finishing 17th to 21st. So drops 4 positions for him. But let's take a quick look at our heat results. And we should be going up to the warm-up right now. Yes, we will. So there's only 1 heat. So Daniel Molnix in 1st, Kyle Lewinsky 2nd, Ryan Howson in 3rd, Dustin Coggin 4th, Hunter Sr. 5th, Nathan Johnson 6th, Nate Bogus 7th, Brian Marshall 8th, Craig Martin 9th, Ruben Rodas in 10th, Christopher Bush 11th, Albert Lopez 12th, Isaiah Walters 13th, Jordan Evans 14th, Cameron Craig at 15th, Zachary Tyler 16th, Alex McQueen 17th, Tim Basketball 18th, Tate LaPretta 19th, and Dylan Lamp round out the top 20. 21st Timothy Presley at the black flag there. Not sure exactly what it was for, but he'll be in 21st. Skylar Jones 22nd, Dan Reberard 23rd, and Donnie Kite 24th. He's got to work his way through the field. Take a quick break here. The drivers have a quick few minutes of warm up before the main event here. 85 laps at Suzuka East here on the Legends Racing Network.
Is going to take the victory 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win.
Saturday Night Racing League in the throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
At NJBDesigns.com, we specialize in transforming your vehicle into a work of art by revolutionizing the way you see your car with the hottest trends in sim racing. Choose from a wide range of colors, textures, finishes to promote your business and sponsors in style. Whether you're looking to add a sleek matte finish, a flashy chrome accent, or a custom design that turns heads, our designers have you covered. If you want to stand out in the crowd, visit njbdesigns.com today and let our team of professionals transform your vision into reality.
We're back live here at Suzuka, Japan for race number 12 of the SuperStar ARCA Cup Series in the Buttered Sausage 120. 85 laps in total at this racetrack in Japan. The only time I believe we go international here for the SuperStar ARCA Cup Series, and yes, it is. So the only international race I think we may have, don't believe we went to an international race last season as well. So it's the first international race in the SuperStar ARCA Cup Series, track-wise, obviously. Take a quick look at that and see if that's actually accurate. And yes, it is. So yeah, this is the first time we've done a non-United States racetrack. So interesting there to note. It is a road course, of course. As we take a quick look at our starting order here for tonight's main event. Like I mentioned, 85 laps in total. Samuel Hoff will be on pole. We saw that earlier. Connor Sabosi in second. Daniel Molnix in third. Kyle Larinsky in fourth. Ryan House in fifth. Dustin Coggins sixth. Hunter Sr. seventh. Nathan Johnson in eighth. Nate Bogus in ninth. And in 10th will be Brian Marshall. Craig Martin 11th. Ruben Rodas 12th. Christopher Bush 13th. Albert Lopez 14th. Isaiah Walsh is 15th. Jordan Evans in 16th. Kim McCraig 17th. Zachary Tyler in 18th. Alex O'Queen 19th. Tim McBasketball 20th. Kate LaPreda 21st. Dylan Lamp 22nd. Timothy Presley 23rd. 24th will be Skylar Jones. And rounding out our field will be Dan Rebark and Donnie Kite. Both of those drivers breaking out in the heat race. Donnie Kite go look to make up some spots there. But 85 laps here on the second road course of the schedule. And it's the final. No, we have one more road course after this one. It's Sonoma in the chase. But up the hill they go. Making sure those tires are warmed up. Everything's all good. 13 rows deep for 26 cars. For 120 miles here in the Buttered Sausage 120 as the pace truck is off. We're about to do battle here in Japan as Barney Flyman waiting to wave that flag as everyone's getting formed up here off the final corner. All 13 rows in line. As it's going to be a little bit before we dip the green, and green flag is out. And away we go here at Suzuka Circuit. Down to turn 1, 2 by 2 through most of the field. Tim Hoff gets through cleanly for now. As up the hill they go. Everyone else clean as well. Clean and green. Tim Hoff still going up the hill. Connor Zabozian down to fourth place already here early in this one. There's a big wreck in the back here. Multiple cars piled up. Albert Lopez involved. Timothy Presley involved. Craig Martin involved. Cameron Craig involved. I see Presley didn't make it through. Excuse me. He's up to 13. But multiple cars involved. We'll take a look at that after it calms down a little bit. But off the final corner, Tim Hoff will lead lap number 1. So we'll take a quick look at that one once things kind of calm down here. We get a little separated, some downtime. As Isaiah Walsh is battling it for 14th place. So it's right in the middle of the yeses as well. It's going to bring out a lot of gravel on the racetrack. I mentioned that in the heat race one time. That's kind of a newer iRacing update. Came out this season or last season, I believe. Kind of, it warns the drivers though that there is gravel on the racetrack right there, right on the entry. As you can see, it's going up the race off the tires of these drivers. We'll see if most of these drivers make it through cleanly. And looks like most of them will, so let's take a quick replay of that one as we have the time to do so. Albert Lopez spun out there. So this is the replay of lap 1. Go look on Albert Lopez and see kind of what happened. Looks like it happened in front of him. Bunch of drivers spinning out. Is it Walsh? I think might have been the first one, that 60 machine. Actually, Albert Lopez was ahead of him. The Walters just spun out himself. Not sure if he just overdrove the corner too much or what happened there. Just front end got just cold tires probably actually. Looks like. Just a low 2 comment 360 for him, but everyone else behind him But we go back live here. Simonoff continues to lead Daniel Mullins in second behind him, Connor Zabosian. As 1, 2, 3 in the, as these are the top 3 in the points. Zabosian first in points, Simonoff second, Daniel Mullins in third. One of these drivers, those 3 drivers probably the favorite to win the championship. They were the top 3 also, I believe, last season as well. We go back to the middle of the pack here. Mostly just single file out. It's a tough racetrack to pass on. There's not a lot of passing zones. Kind of gotta wait for drivers to make a mistake. It's kind of just a smooth rhythm racetrack, it seems like, with these S's and these kind of not really hard braking zones. Probably the hardest braking zone is turn 1. Probably easily, by far, the best passing zone. It's down that long front straightaway. As we just lost internet connection there for momentarily. Luckily, we got it back going all good. About 30 seconds delayed. As Connor was still on the back bumper of Daniel Mullins. Try to get around him. That Chevy machine right in front of him is Zabosian. All over that back bumper. Scrabble up through the racetrack he goes as we go on board Connor Zabosian here. As they're slowly getting on the gas here in the last corner. Gotta be very careful, like eggshells pretty much. And so the inside goes to Zabosian. He's gonna make his move up through the S. He's gonna clip the grass there as he's through now on Daniel Mullins, and now he can set his sights now on Samuel Hoff. Connor Zabosian lost a few positions on the initial start, had to work his way up past Mullins and Houston. He made it through those 2 gyros. Now he can focus on Samuel Hoff and that 00 machine. Try to make his way through into first. We got some other battles on the racetrack. You got Dan Reberark and Christopher Busch there in 16th and 17th. As these gyros all pretty much close together, side by side ahead. Ruben Rhodes, Cameron Craighead. Craighead goes through easily on the 5 machine. Cameron Craighead, he was pretty quick in qualifying, but had a bad heat race, and now he was involved in that first lap incident as well. He's made his way up to 13th place, back up through the field a little bit, but still has a lot of work to do. Like, try to catch up and finish inside that top 10, maybe even top 5 spot if he can get lucky with some pit road strategy as well. To see the top 5 most positions gained, you got Timothy Presley up 12. He was involved in a few of those wrecks in the heat races. Donnie K up 5. Skyler Jones up 8. Dan Reberark's up 7. So a few of those drivers in the back that started in the back up a few positions as Brian Marshall, Nate Bogus, and Bogus may have made a mistake there on the entry. As off the final corner, just had a bad exit possibly there. And allowed Brian Marshall to go by easily into turn 1. That's what I was talking about. Whoa, big sin! Whoa! We did not see that. As that was... Not sure exactly that was. As a 20... As a 20 of Zachary Tyler. Did not see that unless I was blind or something. Just didn't brake in time or lost brakes or something. Very weird wreck there. It's through the gas, he goes down pit lane now. It's already 9 laps into this one. And definitely pit strategy is something to be concerned about. We'll see how big of a factor that plays into the next race, and I think it will be probably the biggest factor, as it's very hard to pass at this racetrack. It seems like, just with how flowy it is and not a lot of hard braking zones except turn 1. you're not really gonna be able to make a lot of moves and gain a lot of time on people. As there's Dustin Cog and Kyle Linsky close together on the racetrack here for a top 5 spot. Back in the mid-pack here, Christopher Busch. As we've got car spinning, that's Ruben Rodas. Actually, he's in the pit lane. Excuse me. As early pit stop here for that 5 machine. Interesting there. We go back to the mid-pack here. It's Christopher Busch, Alex McQueen, and Dan Reberark. All in the mid-pack. Also, interesting thing to note, the ARCA East series, which is kind of the feeder series of this series, they're at Motegi Oval there, so they're also in Japan, as well as one driver come off the pit lane, that is Zachary Tyler. He had that weird incident there in turn 1. He almost took out, I believe it was Brian Marshall and Nate Bogus, and that could have been very bad for those 2 drivers, as Nate Bogus is right on the cutoff line. They actually, no, excuse me, looking at the wrong points there. Nate Bogus currently 21st. Pretty far out here with this pretty much 3 races left to go if you include this one. So he does have a slim chance, obviously, but it's gonna be pretty uphill battle for him. There. And one thing to note, Hunter Sr. also on the bubble too after missing last week at Indianapolis. He was inside the points there before Indianapolis. He was in 10th. They missed Indianapolis. He drops down to 14th. And he's in this race. Oh, big right behind Nathan Johnson, dead into the barriers. Hard here for that 19 machine. And he's going to be out of tonight's race just like that. Wow. Major contact in the last corner there. I don't know if he was overcorrected into the outside wall, but that was a huge hit there for that 19 machine. You're looking at it pretty much live right when it happened. So up the hill he goes through the yeses and coming to the last corner this time right here. Just pushed it a little bit too much and hard hit into the outside wall there. Just caught the barrier at the wrong place at the wrong time. And Nathan Johnson done here for tonight, and that's the second DNF of the night. Jordan Evans has also DNF'd as well. Nathan Johnson is currently 8th in points. He's only 115 points to the good. So this race, luckily, there's only 26 drivers in total, so he won't lose as many points as he would probably in a regular race that we usually have an oval or something like that. But still, major points damage for him, and you also have a kind of a wild card race, give or take, at Michigan. Could be a little bit of a drafty racetrack. You never know with old Atlanta how racy that could be as well. Nathan Johnson, unfortunate for him, won the opener last season, still looking for his first win this season. But we go back to Howard Lopez and Danny Reberark is for 15th place as they're side by side entering turn 1. Lopez on the right side, gonna cut off Reberark there as he'll make the pass into turn number 1. We'll go back up to the race lead here. Samuel Hoff and Con Zabosian very close together still. Zabosian only half a second back from Samuel Hoff, but he's kind of just maintained that gap so far. These past few laps hasn't really been able to gain or lose too much time. As lap traffic also playing a factor as well. Simo is kind of supposed to be blinking out for a second there. If he reconnects into the server, looks like he will. Right there. As lap traffic up ahead, Simo Hoff has been having to avoid Alex McQueen in the way. Tim McBasketball might be in the way as well. As Connors Rosen way off the racetrack. The lap cars don't see him, so they can't move out of the way. And he's getting slowed down big time. He sees the lap cars on his screens, but the lap cars do not see him. And he's getting really slowed down by this, as he's now 2.5 seconds back from Simo Hoff. And that just changed everything right there, him blinking out. As like I mentioned, like I just said, the lap cars could not see Connors Rosian due to the internet issues he was having. And so they didn't realize he was right behind them, and that kind of he could see them on his screen. So that's just really unfortunate for a 45 machine, as now Simo Hoff has opened up his gap to 2.5 seconds now to second place. And now Simo Hoff can kind of save his tires, keep his stuff underneath him, as we're already 18 laps in this one as of now. Actually 17, excuse me. It's gravel all over the racetrack, as Alex McQueen was trying to get away with some of the leaders. Kind of just put gravel all over the racetrack. You can kind of see through the tire marks, through grass as well. But Ryan Houdston now closing the gap on Daniel Molnix for that top 3 spot. As lap traffic could allow Ryan Houdston to close the gap here, and it has, as he could make the move here shortly here on that 40 machine of Daniel Molnix, getting kind of slowed down by some lap traffic. 44 of Craig Martin. And Houdston, he has a good S section here. Can maybe make the move into turn 1 on the next lap. So we're on board with that 98 machine. Through the final corner, can you get a good exit? Lap traffic is slow on Daniel Molnix, and here comes Houdston. He gets on the gas, pedal loudly as he's slowly closing the gap. Does he have the momentum to make the move down to turn 1? He has some a little bit of a draft here. Will he peek the nose? Let's see, will. He's going to be on the late brakes. He's going to late brake it, but just not enough. He's going to overshoot a little bit. As big time Tim Basketball way out the racetrack. I think that's Tim Basketball now. It's Zachary Tyler, excuse me. There. As they continue about here for 3rd place. Bumper to bumper here up to the S's, and Zayre Walters, Cameron Craighead here going side by side in the turn 1. Craighead looks to the inside. Walters gonna defend it and keep the position for now. So go back up to 3rd here as they come to the final corner. There's a 1-car Spain in front of him. Not sure who it would be. It would be Darren Redbark and Taylor Preda. 2 cars involved there, right in front of Daniel Molnix and Ryan Houdston. So get it back going there. We'll see what happened to those 2 drivers. Looks like Dan Redbark, I think, spun out there in front. Actually, no, Taylor Preda just got into him right there in the right rear. Around they both go, luckily off the racetrack. Not in front of Daniel Molnix or Ryan Houdston. They both avoid. In the meantime, there on lap 21, with Yulo Ellerin crank it up here in Japan. As we're back live here at Suzuka, Simulhoff continues to lead the field by 3 seconds over Connor Bosian. Daniel Molnick's in third, Ryan Houston in fourth, Karolinski in fifth. That rounds out the top 5 as Karolinski has heavy traffic ahead of him, and Dustin Coggin now catching back up. As I would assume pit stop's probably gonna be happening here shortly. Not sure exactly how much fuel these guys burn a lot. But Karolinski in heavy traffic with Dustin Coggin, who can get around this lap traffic the best, really. He's gonna really help immensely as lap traffic kind of letting these guys drive through pretty easily so far. Ooh, damn rubber arc around in the turn 2. Let's take a quick look at what happened there. 13 machine. Just looks like he overdrove it just a little bit. Lost some grip there. Luckily stayed off the wall, I believe, there. And he's kept it going. A little damage on the rear end though. There's Christopher Busch, Albert Lopez, Donnie Kite in the pack of 3. Cameron Craig getting around Nate Boggess there for a 9th place spot. Boggess moves himself down to 10th now, as Isaiah Walsh is not too far behind from that 11 machine. As Connor Zabosian has caught about a second on Samuel Hoff that time by. Gap now down to 2 seconds from first to second. As Isaiah Walters and Nate Boggess battling out for this top 10 spot. As off the final corner they go. Isaiah Walters, can he get a good run down the front straightaway? Does it head down the turn 1? Yes, he will. He gets on the power a bit early. Gets a bit loose down the middle of the straightaway. But Nate Boggess can see the position as he move down to 11th place right there. You can see how late, much later, Isaiah Walters braking there for turn number 1. Kind of a 360 spin he did on the start as well in the S's, so he's making his way through the field as well. Same with Cameron Craighead, who was involved in that wreck. As we were right in front of him, Skylar Jones around that 47 machine up the S's as well. See what happened here. Craighead clipped the curb. Not sure if he was alongside him quite enough though. I mean, I think he kind of expected him to give up the position. So kind of on the outside of this S right here. Bumper on this S right here that was on the inside. Craighead just kind of seemed a little bit overly aggressive there for me. To me at least. I mean, he wasn't truly really there the whole way around up the hill. But in the meantime, 31 laps down. Got 54 to go. I do wonder if this is going to be a one-stop race here for tonight. Christian Busch, Albert Lopez, and Donnie Kite still in this pack of 3. None of them have swapped positions quite yet. I think this racetrack's really just about just capitalizing on other drivers' mistakes. Sometimes you're a little bit quicker than them, but mostly everyone's pretty much even within a few tenths of each other. So it's just really, once you get settled in a groove, just gotta capitalize on other people's mistakes. The tire wear, there has not really been any tire wear fall off here tonight. It's around 2 to 3 tenths after 32 laps in total. But one thing to watch out for, Connor Zabosian really closing the gap in on Samuel Hoff. It's one driver off behind him. Not sure that is a great car. As Cameron Craig at down pit lane. First driver that we've really seen down pit lane for a scheduled pit stop is, that's out kind of in the top 10 spot. So Craighead down pit road here on lap 33. So it looks like it's going to be a 2-stop race possibly for a 48 machine. I think everyone else will also have a 2-stopper as well. As there goes Cameron Craig out and away. He's gonna go down to. He'll be exiting around 14th place. It's Craig Martin now coming down pit lane. So yeah, Cameron Craig in 14th place. On those colder tires, he's spinning through turn 1. He saves it, but you gotta watch out for those cold tires. You're not used to them after being on those old hot tires for such a long time. That's something to watch out for some of these drivers as well. I'm sure Cameron Craig is telling his teammates, watch out for those cold tires as he goes through turn 1. So if anyone's in the voice chat call with him, be a lot more prepared. As Christopher Busch came around Ruben Rodas there. Rodas 2 laps down. None of these drivers out on top 5 spots have made a pit stop quite yet. So we'll see if Cameron Craig's strategy works out for him. Same with Skylar Jones and a few other drivers who also pitted a few laps ago. But to make this a one-stop race, as you see, Connor Zabosian right behind Tim Hoff, only a second, 1.3 seconds back, as he has really picked up the pace here of a late. As Connor Zabosian, a man on a mission right now, had an internet issue earlier, kind of slowed him down with some lap traffic, but he's worked his way back around the second back from Samuel Hoff, and pit stops upcoming, so he can maybe jump that 00 machine if he gets the right pit stop strategy. And also when you pit, you want to come out in some clean air, and not you don't want to be in traffic when you come down pit lane or after you pit, especially with those colder tires as well. He's gotten out under a second here. As when will these drivers come out pit lane? Cameron Craig back down pit lane actually. As he is destroyed actually. He might be one of those drivers. Oh, and a final corner right there. I think colder tires kind of cost Cameron Craig there. That's something you definitely gotta be wary about in these stock cars. Those cold tires, just you're not really used to them. I mean, it takes a couple laps for them to really get worn in. As Cameron Craig kind of did the same thing Nathan Johnson did. He's gonna be out here for tonight's race for halfway. So another driver, that's Tim McBasketball there. Here comes Connor Zabosian down pit lane. Tim Hoff can stay out an extra lap, so it looks like it will be a 2-stop strategy here. As Connor Zabosian, first driver in the top 5 to bring her down pit lane. Looks like he's going to be the only one so far. So we'll see, yeah, Hudson stays out. We'll see what Kyle Lewinsky does here as he's also getting chased down by Justin Coggin. Oh, so Lewinsky goes way off. As soon as we go to Kyle Lewinsky, he goes way off and he's going to lose the position to Dustin Coggin. He only loses one though. It's the kind of the broadcast curse there, I guess. Unfortunate for that 22 machine. Just made a mistake there in the final corner. Way off the racetrack he goes. It's Timothy Presley in pit lane. As kind of only right side tires, I believe. As once again lost internet connection there for a minute, but we are connected, back connected. As we are back now, as Simmelhoff just come down pit lane there, and off of his stop, it looks like it's going to be maybe tires only for fuel only maybe, as Connor Zebosian has jumped Simmelhoff big time. As that's the he only took right side tires. I think Simmelhoff took 4 tires there. Daniel Molnick's taking 4 there as well. Let's gotta watch out for those cold tires as well. As that's a big momentum shift. We saw that the tire wear didn't really affect Zebosian too much. He was still running really quick lap times after 40 laps on those tires. As Karolinski now staying out, as some of these drivers might be able to do a one-stop race. Ryan Houston 41 on lap 41. If he makes it lap 42, 43, he can definitely do a one-stop race and cut out a pit stop here. Definitely could be in play here for tonight. So Houston goes off just a little bit there on entry. Still not bringing it in quite yet. So it looks like he might be able to do a one-stop race. We'll see if Dustin Coggin brings it in. Hunter Sr., he brings it in. Nate Bogus, will he bring in the 11 machine down pit lane? Even if he does stay out, he's still behind Simmelhoff as well, and Connor Zebosian. As we spin there, it's Tate LaPreda there on 52. As Nate Bogus staying out one more lap. As will Ryan Houston pit this time by. Is right on the fuel number, right there. He's still staying out, and so he's gonna be a one-stop strategy here for that 98 machine. So he's only gonna have to stop one time. That cuts out a whole pit stop there. As Zebosian's 8 seconds behind him, Zebosian will have to make at least another pit stop. Excuse me, most likely. So this could really change a lot here, as Houston may have been doing a little bit of fuel saving during those first 43 laps. As we just reached the halfway point in this one as well. "43 laps down, 43 to go." So here comes Ryan Houston down pit lane now. As Zebosian now retakes the race lead. Actually, not retakes. He takes the race lead for the first time tonight. As now Simmelhoff 5 seconds back from Connor Zebosian. The only difference between Seymour Hoff and Zabosian is Zabosian only took left side tires, I believe. Left side tires are only right side tires. Not sure exactly which side. Dustin Coggin also took 2. Hunter Sr. also took 2 as well. Those are the only other drivers that took 2 tires. And it looks like it's going to pay off here for Connor Zabosian. For now, at least. Let's see what it will look like at the end of this race. As in the meantime, we're going to do a little run and crank it up here with 41 to go. We just had the pit stop cycle happen, and now Connor Zabosian has taken the lead for the first time here tonight over Samuel Hoff. We'll see what happens here in these next 40 laps here at Suzuka. Guys, we're back live here at Suzuka, Japan. As currently right now, we have 37 laps to go. Connor Zabosian still leads Seymour Hoff. About 5.7 seconds is the gap, a little bit under 6 seconds. These drivers still may have one more pit stop to make maybe not. Still uncertain 100%. But one thing to look out for is that in that fourth place machine, fourth place spot, Ryan Houston currently seems to be able to make it on the one-stop race. Everyone else might have to do it on a two-stopper. We'll see how it plays out in the end here. We still got quite a bit to go here with 36 laps. As Nate Bogus, Isaiah Walsh is duking out here for 9th place. As most of the field pretty spread out, let's do a quick rundown of the top. Well, I guess we can pretty much do every driver at this point, as there's not really any battles on the racetrack currently. Connor Bosian in the race lead. Took a gamble there, taking 2 tires. Oh, we got a spin there. That might be, I believe, Ruben Rodas. Possibly, it looks like it is. Going back on the racetrack. Some gravel now on the exits of these corners. There's some debris on the racetrack as well. But let's go back up to Connor Bosian. Like I was mentioning, Connor Bosian pitted 13 laps to go. He was able to take the race lead away from Samuel Hoff after a great strategy call. Had some internet issues earlier in this race that kind of set him back around 2 seconds. So he lost 2 seconds to Samuel Hoff, but he slowly gained it back at the end of that last run. And now with that strategy call, he's 6 seconds ahead of that 0-0 machine. Now pole sitter currently second in the points, behind the man in the lead. Samuel Hoff, unfortunate for him, just took 4 tires there. It wasn't really a bad strategy call, just Zabosian had a different one, and it looks like it's going to work out for Zabosian so far. It has worked out for him so far these last 10 laps. Go back to Daniel Molnix in 3rd. Won the heat race, started in 3rd, still currently in 3rd as well. One to watch out for, these 2 in front. Maybe Angle has some incidents as well. He's definitely going to be one to watch out for here late in the season as well. Currently 3rd in the points. Ryan Housen, probably the most interesting driver to watch out for. He was able to make it to halfway on his first before he pitted, so he could be, this could be a one-stop race for that 98 machine that could put him in the wing position, in the wing strategy here later tonight. Dustin Coggin having a solid top 5 run. You got by Karlinski as Karlinski went off on the final corner right there. And Dustin Coggin was able to get by and put himself in the top 5 position so far. We'll see if that can last. It'll be his second top 5 of the season if he can maintain this 5th place spot. And like I just mentioned, Karlinski not too far behind, only 3.5 seconds back from that 46 machine. Went off in the final corner and Loud gave up that top 5 spot, currently in 6th place. And he's currently 6th in the points as well. And he's looking for a solid run, as we'll see if he can stay in this spot. As Hunter Sr. kind of trying to track him down. Hunter Sr. currently out of the chase. Currently 14th in points, 2 spots back. In front of him is Alex McQueen and Dustin Coggin. Coggin in front of him. Alex McQueen not having a great night so far. Currently in 19th place. So he can maybe jump Dustin Coggin. Jimmy Dykes not here tonight, I don't believe. No, he's not. So Alex Sr. couldn't work his way up inside the top 12 after tonight, depending on how things shake out. Still got 31 laps to go, so we'll see how it plays out. And now we got Brian Marshall in 64th, 64 machine in 8th place. He's having a good solid night tonight, looking for his second top 10 run of the season. It'd be a good one here tonight at Suzuka. Nate Bogus in 9th place, currently 21st in the points, has not had a top 10 this season. Looking for that first top 10 right now, and currently running in that 9th place spot. As it was just in 10th place on the racetrack, and currently 4th in the points. Looking to keep up a good points run here into the chase as well. Skylar Jones on 47 machine. We saw him big crash in the heat races, so here he comes on pit lane. He was one of the first drivers to pit. Now he's he's going to be the first driver to make his second pit stop here, as he's currently running 11th place. And so you know, Timothy Presley, I believe he might be the most positions gained so far here tonight. We'll take a quick look at that one as well. Yeah, but Skylar Jones and Timothy Presley, those two drivers, they were both involved in heat accidents, wrecks in the heat race by putting themselves further down the field. Christopher Busch in 12th place right now. Currently, actually that's Skylar Jones to me. Christopher Busch right there in 12th place. Currently 27th in points with one top 10 this season. Looking to make that 2. And try to have some sort of crazy comeback. He's about 500 points out of the chase. Don't believe that's really possible with 2 races left, including this one. Donnie Kite in 13th place, wrecked big time in the heat race, started dead last in this one, up 13 spots, and it's Craig Martin right behind him, who's in 14th place and currently 9th in the points. Having a good season so far. Craig Martin, 2 top 5s, only 3 top 10s. So he's probably trying to get a little bit more consistently in the top 10 spots as it goes off a little bit there in the final corner. Albert Lopez in that 62 machine. I believe he was involved in that first lap wreck as well. Spun around there and won the yeses as he's continuing in that 15th place spot. Made up a few positions as well. Tate Lapreda, he's been involved in a few incidents as well on the racetrack. Has some left front damage, excuse me, as he's working his way through turn number 1. Ruben Rodas in 5th. Currently 10th in the points. Not having a great night so far, but the drivers behind him not having the greatest night either. Jimmy Geigen's not here tonight. Dustin Coggin, really good top 5 run for him so far. But you also got Alex McQueen, who's also behind him. Hunter Sheen, who's having a good night. Donnie Kite, not a great night. But Ryan Houston, he's 16th in the points. I did not mention that. He's also on the cutoff line as well. So he could maybe, Ryan Houston looking for a good points night tonight in 4th place in that 98 machine. Alex McQueen, one of the drivers like I mentioned right there, currently 13th in the points. Outside looking as Daniel Molex down pit lane. So he's gonna make a early pit stop here and top it off on fuel and make sure he's good to go here with 28 laps to go. Looks like it's a fuel only stop for that 40 machine as away he goes, 6.2 seconds into his box. He's got to drop down to 6th place there. Tim and Baxwell down pit lane as well. We'll finish out our field rundown kind of as we're interrupted there from Alex McQueen. As McQueen, like I mentioned, was on the cutoff line in 13th place. Looking to try to have a good run here tonight. He's 4 laps down, so tonight just has not been Alex McQueen's night. Unfortunate for him, as Dylan Lamp in that 55 machine off the racetrack as soon as we look at him, unfortunately for him. Currently no top 10s here tonight, looking like so far the season looks like he's not going to get one tonight here as he's 5 laps down. Zachary Tyler, top 20 machine, had a crazy incident earlier in this race, almost right into, I think it was Nate Bogus and Isaiah Walters possibly in the turn 1. 13th of Dan Reberark there. Currently 32nd in the points, 1 top 10. Currently running 22nd, and Tim McBasketball, fan favorite, in 23rd, coming off a pit lane right now. I think he had to serve a penalty due to the incident points amounts. Got a 93 machine, but it was a quick little rundown of our 23 car field. I think pretty good information about everyone right there overall, as much as I could give right there. But with 25 to go, it's really just a strategy race. As with 3 wide there, chaos right in front of our race leader. As one driver off, that's Isaiah Walters, and one driver, Jerry Reberark right there off right in front of our race leader. Not something Collins Bozzi wanted to see right in front of him, as both these drivers going off, and luckily Collins Bozzi makes it through. But only the only drivers not allowed down are the top 3. Which is a crazy turn of events here on the road course. As there's 61 laps down and 25 to go, come to 24 this time by. It really is an interesting thing to see that how Daniel Mollink's pitted very early right there. Not sure if he was trying to intentionally do that, but we'll see. As Christopher Busch down pit lane now. As Samuel Hoff down pit lane now, our second place running. As down pit lane he goes. We'll see what he does here. Will be fuel only for that 00 machine. Will he take some tires maybe, as the tire advantage has been pretty much 0 here tonight. So there he goes. It's gonna be fuel only for that 00 machine, just a splash and dash. Was the Bosney react? Not quite. Timothy pressing down pit lane as well. An interesting thing to note here. The betting favorite coming into tonight was Alex Anderson winning here at Suzuka East. He's actually not in tonight's race, but the second best was the field. Yeah, the options were Isaiah Walters, Skylar Jones, Nate Bogus, and Samuel Hoff, or the field. The field is easily the favorite there by far. For pole position, though, it was Samuel Hoff who was the favorite, and he obviously did end up winning the pole position. So all 4 people who bet on him now will get their coins back, I guess, in the betting odds. And you can still make that bet, actually, so if you want free coins there in the SuperStar ARCA Cup Discord server. But in the meantime, Joe Hoff's trying to prove those guys wrong who bet against him for the race win. They all bet for him to win the pole, but they don't believe he can win the race. He's won the pole. Still has 20 laps to prove that he can win this race, as he did take a splash and dash there. As Connors Boden will his pit this time, he stays out once again. And Ryan Houston about to go a lap down here. Remember, he was his driver in front going off, Tate Lapretta. Ryan Houston was one of the drivers that I thought can maybe make it on the one-stop race. He's gonna go 1 lap down. Not sure if he'll be able to, even if he doesn't make that pit stop, I don't think he'll be in front anyways. But he's defending hard right now from Connor Zabosian. As Zabosian bringing her down pit lane this time by. We'll see what the gap is between him and Samuel Hoff. As Hoff right now going up the S's. Zabosian into the pit lane. And also, how long will he be into his pit stall as well? That could be important to note. Zabosian off and away now. Down the front straightaway he goes. You can see Samuel Hoff's pink car right there. He's got to exit through some lap traffic. He'll have to work his way through. But he's not going to have cold tires to deal with. But he will have some lap traffic in front. Samuel Hoff's gap is pretty much around the same, about 6 seconds back from Connor Zabosian. And Herlinski down pit lane as well. So Ryan Housen, even skipping a pit stop, he still won't be ahead of these drivers by 25 seconds. So third place is really the best he can do. Wow. Shows how much of the clinic these top two have really put on the field. Connor Zabosian and Samuel Hoff. Pretty much untouchable here tonight. As an update on the East race, they're currently under caution with 8 laps to go. And currently the race leader is Nathan Barrows. That 90 machine there. And 9th caution the night there for them at 20 Wing Motegi, I believe. The oval. So kind of a caution fest there in the ARCA East series. Obviously no cautions here on the road course, but Daniel Molnick's catching up to Dustin Coggin. Dustin Coggin is yet to pit, so this is kind of really irrelevant if he passes him here, but still some on-track action. Closest battle on the racetrack by far between these two drivers. As the inside goes Molnix, and he'll clip the spot there on Coggin. And he can maybe chase down Ryan Housen as well with 15 to go. Maybe get himself a top 3 spot if Housen stays out and does not pit. And with 15 laps to go, we'll do a little Ellerine crank it up for the last time here tonight at Suzuka. As back live here at Suzuka with 10 laps to go. We just saw Isaiah Walters hit the wall big time in the turn 1, destroy his night, and his night is over as well. So he'll be done for the night. But we go back out front. Connors Rosen still leads over Samuel Hoff in second. Gap pretty much unchanged. Daniel Molnick's trying to close down the gap on Ryan Houston with 10 to go. As now in the single digits here. 9 laps to go in Japan. And the buttered sausage 120 currently being led by Connors Bozen, currently our points leader over Samuel Hoff, who's second in the points and second in the race. Ryan Houston looking to punch his way into the chase in these final 3 races. Tonight's result would be a really good one and some positive momentum going into the next week at Legacy Atlanta. But can he hang on to that top 3 spots? Daniel Molnick, who's third in the points currently as well. He's kind of outside looking in, kind of a long shot to maybe win the regular season championship. About 300 points back from Connors Bozian, so it'd be a pretty long shot for Molnick to have a chance at the regular season championship. But he still has a fight easily for third. As you see, Isaiah Walsh just pretty much died in that turn 1. He was 4th in the points there. So Daniel Molnick even has a bigger cushion now behind as well. As Serlinski, Alex Anderson didn't show up tonight. Nathan Johnson wrecking out early as well. So Daniel Molnick with this great result here tonight at Suzuka pretty much solidifies himself in that 3rd place spot in the championship results for now. And it's coming to 6 laps to go this time by now. Cosmos just has to bring it home, bring around the circle 6 more times. They'll go back to back here. Last week at Indianapolis, this week at Suzuka if he can hang on. He went back to back earlier in the season at Darlington and Bristol. He's the only driver to do that, and he could do it twice if he can close the deal here. Coming to 5 laps to go, and Zabosian would be a 4-time winner this season. No one else has more than 2. An interesting thing to note: Zabosian doesn't have a pole this season other than the All-Star race and the second duel. So Zabosian has not been a first place qualifier this so far this season. He's obviously had a good qualifying runs here and there. His best starting position, obviously first place in the polls. His best starting position, second, third, fourth. So he's been a very good qualifier, but just hasn't been able to get that pole position in the regular season. right now, that doesn't matter as he's coming. His 4 laps to go. And quick look at the close battle on the racetrack, excuse me. Between Albert Lopez and Christopher Busch, 13th and 14th. And 3 laps to go now as Christopher Busch and Albert Lopez now close together once again. Christopher Busch now within a second. Lopez was able to gap him just a little bit last 2 laps to go. The gap this time now closed out as Christopher Busch with a great 1 and 2. Great entry to turn 1. See if he gets a good exit off of turn 2. Looks like he will. And he's looking for a 13th place spot there over Albert Lopez. Here late in this one, this is the closest battle on the racetrack, really the only battle on the racetrack of note, but also of note, Ryan Houston, Albert Lopez gets loose right there up the S's. Ryan Houston has yet to pit so far, same with Dustin Coggin, Hunter Sr. I think these drivers trying to save fuel as well. And 2 laps to go now. Ryan Houston still staying out. Dustin Coggin up through the S's. He is 1 lap down, so these guys don't have to go as far. They'll have to go 1 lap less than they would originally. As white flag in the air this time by for Connor Zabosian. 7.3 second gap between him and Samuel Hoff. Ryan Houston getting through some lap traffic at Craig Martin there. No reason for him to pit this time by. Comes to the white unless he just really can't make it on fuel. Which I believe he can. As he will stay out there. As up the S's, Connor Zabosian goes. Lap traffic with Daniel Molnix, who's in 4th place on the lead lap. But off the final corner, Connor Zabosian will make it 4 race wins this season, and he goes back-to-back here in Indianapolis and Suzuka. Connor Zabosian wins the Buttered Sausage 120, and he continues to stretch out his points lead as Samuel Hoff will round out in 2nd still. As coming to the line, Ryan Houston looking to make it on a 1-stop strategy here. And he looks like to do so as through the final corner he goes. And he will make it happen. Ryan Houston. 1-stop strategy for him. And Daniel Molnix will round out in 4th place as everyone else crosses the line as well as Zabosian. What a win for that Juicy Spire Racing machine there. As he'll burn it down here on the front straightaway. He wins the Buttered Sausage 120. As Connors Rosen parks it right on the front straight away. As we'll take a quick look at our race results here for tonight's race. As well. As Connors Rosen wins it after 85 laps here at Suzuka. Simmelhoff will finish second, Ryan Housen third, Daniel Molnix fourth, Dustin Coggin fifth, Hunter Sr. sixth, Kyle Lewinsky seventh, Nate Bogus in eighth, Brian Marshall ninth, Donnie Kite rounding out the top 10, moving his way from last to 10th place. Rat 2 machine looking strong going into next week at Legacy Atlanta, trying to carry some momentum at least. I know he probably didn't want to get wrecked out in the heat race, wreck himself in the heat race, I should say, really. But anyways, Skylar Jones in 11th, Timothy Presley 12th, Albert Lopez 13th, Christopher Bush 14th, Craig Martin 15th, Ruben Rhoda 16th, Taylor Price 17th, Alex McQueen 18th, Dylan Lamp 19th, and Isaiah Walters in 20th. 21st, Tim Basketball, Zachary Tyler in 22nd, 23rd, Daniel Rebrock, Kim McCraig at 24th, Nathan Johnson 25th, and Jordan Evans 26th. So we'll speak to our top 3 drivers right now. The first one up will be Connor Sabosian. Hello, Connor, you got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
So you get the win here tonight with some pit stop strategy in the first stop. Talk us through that strategy called there to get the race lead in the first place.
Yeah, for sure. I was kind of happy I was able to finally be the first person to top Brock in a road course race, because he's run all the road course races in this league so far. I mean, a little disappointed he couldn't be here tonight, but it's nice to be the first new winner on a road course. But as for the strategy, like I got a little behind Sam on the start, and I was kind of pushing to catch up to him, and I had it in the back of my mind to just run 2 tires, and I figured just the way the track is, it's kind of a right-hand tending track, so I knew I was going to be a little harder on the lefts. So I planned on taking 4 at first, but it's like just being stuck behind Sam and seeing how hard it was to pass. I didn't think I'd ever get to him and fully get around him to be able to pull off a 4 tire. So I did what I thought was required and took the 2 lefts and hoped it worked out. I still kind of figured the 4 would allow him to get back to me, but the 2 ended up being pretty decent. It doesn't really seem like there's a ton of fall off at all.
Yeah, I didn't really notice any fall off lap time wise while I was looking at the timing score in there, but still, just 85 laps. You didn't really make any big mistakes. Just talk us through how your rhythm was through this kind of unique racetrack. You don't really go to a lot either in the official races at all either as well.
Yeah, this track's super rhythmic with the S's. It's just back and forth and back and forth. It kind of sucks because the S's, like you see, that's where like all the big road course guys really perfect their road courses. Is like they're just so good at just transferring the weight back and forth and getting through the S's. So I knew it was going to be a challenge, and you're just going to have to keep your rhythm and stay focused the whole race. And then those 2 turns on the end of the track, turn 1 and then the last turn, kind of throw you for a spin after getting used to those S's. So it's just super rhythmic track, and just those 2 turns at the end of the track that kind of throw off your rhythm.
Well, a great result here for you, 4th win of the season. Anyone like to thank for tonight's win at Suzuka?
Yeah, I got to thank Moran Chevrolet, McQuaid Heating and Cooling, PPG, Painter Supply and Equipment, The Pleasure Zone, Michigan Independent Door Company, Dynamite Machining, Juicy Spider Racing, and Sam Hoff for running me a good race and giving me some company up there.
Yeah, great win for you here tonight, and we'll see you next week at Legacy Atlanta.
Thank you.
So as Connors was in that 45 machine, finishing in that first place spot here and winning the buttered sausage 120. We're going to speak to our second place driver of Samuel Hoff in that 00 machine. Won the pole here tonight. Just couldn't get into victory lane. Hello, Sam, we got a copy?
Hi, Town. How you doing?
Pretty good as you finish in second there. Connor Zabosian just had a little bit of a better strategy call there. It seems like on that first pit stop. Did you kind of expect him to do that, or was it kind of just a complete 180 of what you thought he was gonna do?
Yeah, it was I was expecting a 4-tire strategy at the whole time because I thought tires would actually matter, but iRacing has the tire model maybe a little messed up right now, and they just didn't matter over the whole run. So he took 2 there, was able to get ahead of me, and then we both took no tires and just no fall off all day long. So kind of sucks because I thought we had a car to win this one. Definitely had a car to battle with him, but with taking 4 and him 2, he grabbed that 6-second lead, and I could just never get back below that 6 seconds.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a very tough place to pass, as once he was kind of up there with you at the beginning of this race, he couldn't really pass you at all. He could just stay with you. So do you think if you were able to get up there with him, you could maybe make a move, or obviously probably going to turn 1 would probably be the best option overall on the racetrack?
Yeah, I was looking to I had been practicing and practiced the move around the outside of the first S and then into the second S, kind of not bodying the guy, but giving him a little shove up the track a little bit to make sure that we continue moving forward. But it's something that I had explored, but I knew he was going to be a tough opponent to pass if I ever got back to him.
Well, he's still with a great result in second place and still have a chance to win the regular season championship in the upcoming weeks. But anyone like to thank for tonight's good round at Suzuka?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Juicy Spider Network for the sponsorship this season, Patty Engineering, Fanic Robotics, LRN, and of course the man on the box, Donald Trump, calling a great race.
Well, congrats on your second place here tonight. We'll see you next week at a Legacy Atlanta.
See you, Atlanta.
So that was Sam Hoff. They're finishing up in second place. We're going to speak to our third place finisher, Ryan Houston. He rounds himself in the third there. Is currently right now he's on the outside looking in on his points with 2 races left in this one. Hello, Ryan. You got a copy?
Yeah, I hear you.
Finishing up in third place, a great points, Nate, for you, as right now you're on the outside looking in for the chase. And just talk us through your night, and also you were one of the few drivers who have a one-stop strategy as well.
Yeah, I realized today that I didn't have the extra 3 or 4 tenths that seemed like Connor and Sam had on pace. So I kind of figured I was gonna have to switch it up a little bit to have a chance at the win. I realized late that just wasn't gonna happen. I think they were on some good strategies and they were just really fast. But first run, I was able to kind of follow Molnick's around, and that helped me save a lot because I could just judge where I could stop hitting the gas every entry and use the coasting to keep up with him, but not burn up my gas. The second run, I was a bit slower, and I saved a lot, but I could have run a little harder. I ended up with 2 laps of fuel at the end of the race, so I could have run a little harder, but still wouldn't have been enough to catch Sam or Connor. They were way faster.
Yeah, great night for you as well. I was talking about the points a little bit earlier. Outside looking in, and for these next 2 races, obviously tonight's a good stepping stone, and next week in the Legacy Atlanta, what's your thoughts going into there?
I think I feel pretty good about Atlanta. Not sure about Michigan. But yeah, I think this was a really good points night. I think I finally led a lap, which is a nice little bonus point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I have a shot at catching top 12 at least, which I'm happy about. Yeah,
it's really all you could ask for late in this regular season. But anyone like thank for tonight's good run at Suzuka?
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to thank the buttered sausage that put this on. I'd like to thank my teammate Albert. He runs all the practice sessions with me. He's a good guy. He also got it done on 1 stop tonight. I think he got a 13th place finish. Thank my friends and family back home watching it. Super happy to have their support and stuff. It's a lot of fun being able to get them tuned into the broadcast every week. And thank you for putting on a good show for everybody.
Yep, and congrats on your 3rd place here tonight at Suzuka. We'll see you next week at Legacy Atlanta.
I appreciate it. See you.
So it's Ryan Houston there in that 98 machine to round out in the top 3 spot in 3rd. So overall, a pretty interesting race. Not a lot of racing, I would say, battle-wise, but a lot of strategy calls that you didn't really see coming. There's a couple of racing there and a couple of wrecks as well, but very just, I don't know. No, how to describe it. Just kind of a very calm kind of race, but not calm in a way that like eases you. I don't know, but anyways, next race for the SuperStar ARCA Cup Series, like I mentioned multiple times, Legacy Atlanta. That's going to be a complete 180 from this race here tonight at Suzuka. Live tire wear, live strategy. I mentioned tire wear, it's going to be a lot of tire wear. That's all. That's pretty much Legacy. Put Legacy in front of any track, it's going to be a lot of tire wear for the most part. But especially at Atlanta there, that one's going to be very interesting. But the next race that we have on the LRN Network, or Legends Racing Network, we have the Undisputed Cup Series at Watkins Glen, another road course there in the next gen at 8:50 Eastern Time tomorrow night. Then the Friday night NAOR Cup Series at Michigan, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And Stampede Racing League Juicy Spire Premier Series back after a 3-week hiatus due to NASCAR scheduling and obviously Memorial Day weekend as well. Obviously, the NASCAR race happened that night as the Cook 600. But Iowa there, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, next gen car. And Monday, the 5 Points Racing League Turnkey Network Solution Series goes to New Phoenix at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's going to be the first race of their chase. So we got a couple of seasons wrapping up here. We got 5 Points Racing League, SuperStar ARCA Cup closing out the regular season there as well. But the Undisputed Cup Series and NAOR just started, and the Stampede Racing League obviously kind of in the middle of their season as well. But 2 seasons kind of coming to an end, 2 of them starting back up again. But we'll see you guys next time tomorrow night at Watkins Glen at the Undisputed Cup Series.